Attention, please. The show starts in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Hey everybody, and welcome back to the Kryptonites show. And of course, we're gonna have some epic content today. Your host Superman in the house. I hope you guys enjoy it. So Brennan's in the house, says ETH on the move. Yeah, boy, absolutely, to infinity and beyond. That's all we can say. To infinity and beyond. Let me just get out the show, and don't forget, if you're on X, to repost it. Helps a lot. And of course, on YouTube, share it around. Show lots of love there for sure. Just going to pin it to the top of the X account, and let's see where we're going here. Let's put a like on that as well and share that around. So let's go. We've got have a great show today. Share show on X. I think I always write share show on X, and get out there. And if you're on YouTube, of course, you know what to do as well. Bam. All right. So let's play that out. That is the show there. Share it on X. And just take 1 second just to go beep on the repost button. And don't forget, if you want to smash a like and leave a comment, that's always good too for the algorithm. We got Dukes of the Booze in the house there. Cheers, everybody. Chin chin all around. I like the green circle there. We got Harry Williams as well. Yo, 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 yo. Good to see you, Harry. It's always a pleasure. Who made your intro? Let me think now. Who made the intro? Mr. Onizuka made the intro, so big shout to Mr. O. We got Brian in the house there. What's up, folks? Good to see you, Brian. Got to run, boss. We'll catch it in a few hours. Hey, Brian, you enjoy your day, and we'll see you soon. Big shout out to Brian. Now, what's the show called? The Age of Torus. Woo! This is a quote from Cryptographics himself, so I thought it was perfect for a title. And of course, I put on breaking records and blowing minds because really, Torus is doing some amazing things. Now, we're going to talk all about that at the beginning of the show. So, first topic is talking about Torus. And of course, this is on Ethereum or built on Titan X. And we're also going to be talking about Unity's coming up a little bit. So, that's going to be built on, that's from Cryptographics as well, coming to Pulse Chain. So, we're given the success in the first week of Torus. There's a lot of pressure about Unity coming to Pulse Chain, but right time, right place. Pulse Chain not quite there yet. We've still got our big whale selling out, and he started selling today. Only in the last 20 minutes, in fact, the big whale has finally moved the last of his hex on Pulse Chain. You guys know he's been moving all the stuff over to Ethereum. This is the last, and of course it's 362 million, I think it is. And he's just started selling about 35 million already. So the hex chart on Pulse Chain is going to be a buyer's dream in a minute. Maybe not in a minute, but later on today. So we're going to talk about that wallet. And if you are wanting to pick up a deal of the century on Hex, wait for him to sell out is my guess. We are seeing some market buying of that, but we'll talk about that in a minute. So yeah. Hey, look, we're talking about Torus, we're talking about Hex, but we're going to get into everything. We're going to start off with Torus. It's the first topic. Then we're going to get into the markets on the stock market. Then we're going to get to crypto. We're going to go to Pulse Chain. We've got a lot to talk about Pulse Chain, of course, as well. So I hope you guys enjoy the content today. Man, it's going to be a busy show when we get X1 launch, right? It could be get pretty busy, pretty busy on show here. Might have to go from 1 hour and a quarter to 1 hour and 30 minutes or something like that. So yeah, definitely smash the likes, says Brian. Yeah, and so does Hedgehog there. Definitely do that. Wookie in the house as well. Just like the wires, ETH is moving up. Yeah, and of course, that's the other thing, right? Bitcoin breaking up, Ethereum in particular breaking up. And we're going to have a look at the Magic Carpet Ride. Richard Hart's Magic Carpet Ride is recovering, heading towards break even again. We're going to talk about that too. So, yeah, it's going to be a fun show. Without further ado, let's actually, I'm going to have to split the screen a little bit so I can bring in the new items because I was still setting up actually on those items. So, let me do that. Bam, and bam. All right. So let me, actually, what the heck is happening there? Let me just find the screen here. Man, I thought I was ahead of time here, but, a little bit behind. But we can fix things up pretty quickly, I think. Yeah. All right, so let's get out there. And what else have we got to talk about? Anything else? Oh, yeah, I just put out a whale alert. We're going to get into that. yeah, I think we're going to get into that in a minute. So yeah, let's jump away from that and jump straight into the Torus, I think. Bam! All right, Torus, here we are. All right, so let's go and remove the split screen again. And here we are with Torus. So it looks pretty amazing. So this is Torus. If you guys are not familiar, it is built by Cryptographics. He is a Pulse Chain Titanix influencer who's now become a founder and has created a monster of dreamy tokenomics, really trying to deal with the demand side, sustainability side of protocols, particularly staking protocols. And so this has only been around for 6 days, 6 hours, and 8 minutes. So it's on day 7. So you're in the first week. First week are always kind of early. People always look back on the first week and go, "I was there." I was there on the first week. So it's kind of like that. And of course, you get the best metrics mathematically early on, generally speaking. And so yeah, it's pretty amazing. So at the moment, of course, it's blowing minds here on the 7th day. So here we are on the 7th day. So you're still early, whatever that will mean in the future, because this is a staking protocol with the idea of lasting for decades. So we're going to check out how that might actually work. So pretty cool. We can see that at the moment you can either create, and it's kind of like mining or something like that, or minting, but really it's got a very different mechanic because it's got a distribution model, and that's the heart of this, right? So distribution model is basically more people that come in after you or after day 7, people that come in after day 8, day 9, day 10, they get a share of the future supply that you were getting today. So whatever you were getting today, they're going to get a little share of that. And so you're sharing more of it each day, and it's just less than 100,000 every day of tokens. That's going down every day. So you're still getting mathematically the best numbers the earlier you are from that point of view. But then, of course, over time, more and more people come in and share that. So it becomes, a more normalized distribution. You don't have a big, a skewed distribution that people were getting with big whales like we saw in Titanix, for example. And you also don't have the referral program that a Titanix had, right? Which may have, of course, been part of the pump mentals, but made the game a shorter game than a longer game. And of course, then Titanix evolved into being a first layer kind of coin, or an ecosystem coin for all the protocols that came in. And now there's about, I think, 41 protocols are launched on Titanix. So it had another avenue for greatness, let's say. We've got Product Review in house there. Great show today. Appreciate that, Product Review. Big shout out. So actually, you can see at the moment the ROI is 19,000%. I think it got pretty close to 20,000% earlier today. So absolutely stunning results. And this is after day 7. And of course, you can either go in with Titanix or in Ethereum and mint yourself some future Torus. You only lock in of this yield. This yield here, you only lock 1 day in at a time, because, as I said, more people that come into the future are getting a share of this. And of course, the total amounts going down, relatively speaking. So every day we add another day on, we're essentially getting more people there as well. So more volume. So the other thing, of course, is staking. People buying on the market at the moment, and that's what's pushing up the price. We're going to look at that at the moment because the yield's pretty attractive, 4,400%. Some people seem to think this is a different way to go. And of course, they do have to pay a little premium. I think it's 5%, whether using Titanix or Ethereum to do that, which gives you, in part, different yields here compared to creating. So creating, obviously, 19,000%, staking near 4,400%. Now, you do get the optionality to early end stake, I think just after 50%. So you have to check out the tokenomics on that. But that's something that you can check out also. So people are doing that, and that has been to the upside. People have been doing that to the upside. So kind of cool there. Now, the burn, of course, has been getting bigger and bigger and bigger. Look at these beautiful numbers. Absolutely gorgeous numbers here with the buy and burn. We got buy Torus there at 63,600. We got buy Torus with Titanix at almost 200,000. Then we have a second buy and burn. I call these the treasuries, because really all the capital that's going in terms of Titanix and ETH is being captured. Well, not all of it, but a lot of it's being captured by the buy and burn. So here we got this one here, the buy and builds is building up liquidity over time. So all this stuff in here will end up in the liquidity pools on Deck Screener, basically, that you see when you're looking at it. And so there's 37,000 in Ethereum. And of course, if the price of Ethereum starts running away, then all this in US dollar value is just going to go up as well, right? So that's the other thing. And of course, buy Torus with Tightnex, $155,000, and there's 572 billion Tightnex in there. And of course, Tightnex has started to run away as well, and so the value of this will go up with Tightnex, and of course that will go up with the value of Ethereum, right? So it's a pretty exciting thing to see. And then we also add in the 110-day what they call fractal. This is going to be a big all this value. It's like a big savings pool, and that's going to trigger on day 110. Remember that your earning days are 88, so this is coming in after that. So that is going to be pretty exciting. And at the moment, that's got almost $100,000 in Tightnex in it and Ethereum. And of course, we're only on day 7. We only just started day 7. This is in basically 6 days that this value's added up. And so what's probably around, I'm just guessing, but it's probably around $550,000 so far already. So you can imagine another 6 days or 7 days from now, we could be well over $1 million in the buy and burn. And especially if this starts running away, they could go even faster, right? Even faster. So pretty exciting. And of course, people are being attracted by the high yields, and it's a pretty big opportunity there. Now, the other thing, of course, is the stats. At the moment, we got the price of Torus at $11.43. Yesterday, when I tuned in for the evening, it was $10.25. It is now $11.43. It's actually been higher than this too today. So we'll talk about that. We'll then get to the chart. And the stats at the moment. So the value of the pool every day. Day 1, there was 100,000 in the payout pool. Today, on day 7, there's 99,520. So every day, that 100,000 started going down by 0.08% per day. So the payout pools are going down, right? And more people are coming in. So the total Torus is being shared out amongst more people. And every day, the share rate's changing as well. So when you do create, or if you stake, you get a different share rate, and of course that will give you different shares, right? So you can see the shares there, and that gives you a share of the reward pool. And every day, so you've got the earlier the better, and of course getting as much shares as you can by creating or staking, particularly creating, is the way to go. Now we've got this cool distribution as well, which is pretty cool. I'm going to zoom on this a little bit here, make it a bit bigger for the screen, so you guys can see that a bit better. Actually, I might do another one. Let's go full mode, and you can see that. So we've got total Torus distribution at the moment. We've got 27.6% staked. That's 5,400 tokens. We've got 500 actually burned so far. So that's actually going up quite nicely. And then we've got 18% in liquid supply. And then we've got 51.7% in the LP, which is 10,000 tokens. So there's not a lot of tokens out at the moment. And of course, with people going to stake, buying Torus rather than creating, they're staking, they buying the market up there. And there's not really that many people with liquid Torus. Now, obviously, people holding that liquid Torus, even though there's not much of it, not many people. I think last time I looked, there was about 85 people something holding it. Is that once the price goes up enough and they make enough returns, they will sell that a little amount of Torus, obviously. So there is some sell pressure, and so we do see that, right? So let's have a look at the supply at the moment. We've only got 19,651. Remember, we had 20,000 when we first started on day 1. So we're actually gone down, and of course the buying and burning has been 516. It's still early days, right? Still early days. Buying and burning is sit at 1% at the moment. There's 144 of those a day. Every 10 minutes, doing a little bit of buy and burning. So it's only just very small at the moment. They can go up to 10% of the buy and burn balance, something we may see in the future, maybe after day 88 or something. We shall see. And of course, we've got stake Torus. Excuse me, we've got stake Torus. They're sitting at 5,400, which has been the big surprise to the upside. So people are buying off the market and then staking, right? Because the yields are pretty attractive. If you go back to the earning tab and we go to staking, people have been tracking that down with the ability to early in stake. Although if you early in stake, you lose a lot of your earned rewards. And so they will get I think it's either burned and redistributed 50%, I think is the number. So yeah, that's all in the white paper, so you can check that out and double confirm, as you should do. Hey Blair, good to see you, Blair. Hi all. We got Drock in the house as well. It's been an incredible first week in Torus. Has been amazing, and we're not even quite finished. We've still got kind of almost 3/4 of a day to go, in the or at least 2/3 of the day to go in Torus, which is pretty amazing for day 7 results. Now, the cool thing is that I've been covering this from day 1. So if you wanted to see a lot of the early results as it's matured, go back and watch all my earlier videos over the last week. So it becomes a bit like a time capsule for Torus, which is pretty cool. I just thought about that today. So yeah, and if you go back, you'll be able to see a lot of the early metrics on day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, including the June report, which we're going to look at in a minute. So that's kind of cool. It's become a little bit of time capsule, which is quite neat. You can also check out, obviously, any other influencer that's been covering it, obviously, as like the founder, Cryptographics, right? So that's pretty cool. Let's go to I think that was the stats on the page. So everything is looking incredible. Yes, we got 1.6 billion shares now. So if I remember rightly on day 1, when you can go check this on my video, I think we had about 1.6 billion. We had 400 million shares, and now we've got 1.6 billion. So day 1, I think, was around 450 million shares, maybe 450 on the top end there. And today, here we are on the beginning of day 7. We've got 1.6 billion shares. This is so important, the shares, right? Because this is what is to be a share of all this Torus that's coming into the market, this inflation. But of course, as more people come in, they get more share of it. So it happens pretty fast there. And yeah, total Titan burnt so far, 111. It says 111. Total Titan yeah, 111 billion Titan has been burned so far. So this is when people do buy. Do go through the protocol, it does burn Titan as well, which is kind of cool. So it's really helping a lot. We got Brendan in the house there. Sunny Bill couldn't stay up like Gal and the charts. Oh, did he get knocked down? Yeah. So with Sunny Bill's a New Zealand boxer, he's really an idiot. I don't like the guy at all. But that sounds like he got knocked down. Yeah, nice. It's funny that. Diamond Hands in the house there. Good job on the PulseX comments. I appreciate that. You're the first person to make a comment. Second person to make a comment about that. So big shout out. Appreciate that very much. We got Lance in the house there. I like that. Was it movie, action, and a flag? Let's go. All right, so let's get into it. So that is pretty much it on Torus. It is really, really amazing. Now we're going to talk about. We're going to go to the June dashboard. So I'll post the Torus list link there if you guys want to check it out. Now I do encourage you, if you haven't joined our strategy club, the link's in the video description for that. So join up to that today. And it's only $35 a month to join. It is amazing in there, so get in there. And I'm going to be doing a little video at a request of one of the strategy club members asked me for a video on our top 10. So I'm going to do a little pros and cons on a video on the top 10. I'm going to be posting that in strategy club, so you definitely want to check that out as well. Now, obviously, Pulse Chain, which we're going to talk about, later in the show, is under a bit of challenge with the whale at the moment, but we're getting pretty close to the whale finishing their sellout. Unfortunately, obviously, that pulls the Pulse Chain down while everything else is going up, but we'll get to that in a minute. And there is Torus. Yeah, check out Torus at the moment. Wookie says Wookie is the world's first Torus riding champion. Nice one there, Wookie. Yeah. Torus looking good there. And we've been talking about Torus in the strategy club quite a bit. So very, very cool. Since day 1, of course. There we go. All right, so that is Torus. Let's go look at the June dashboard. This is from Mike Dean. Of course, he does a lot of the data and reporting sites for Torus. And we're going to get the late. Well, this is only 2 hours old, this data, so it's a little bit behind because Torus is moving pretty fast. But we've got over $700,000 in 6 days, pretty much, that have gone into the protocol. So just over 6 days, we've had 700,000 go in here. And protocols like this can run away, right? So we could end up seeing a runaway in week 2, week 3. So just take note of that. So we're going to be looking out for that. The word's getting out there, people understanding it, and the yields are so attractive. You're going to see a lot of people going. We've had over 45 ETH going into the system so far. We've had well over 2 trillion. This number's a little bit high, and we're not quite sure the definitional differences, but we're actually probably closer to 2.2 trillion, something like that. We're going to check that out. And of course, the total supply of future Torus. So remember, today we've only got less than just over 19,000 Torus in existence. In the future, we may have up to 9.3 million at the moment. Of course, every day there's 99,500 Torus up for the auction payouts, and of course every day we move forward, that potentially adds more and more Torus in the future. Now, I think Cryptographics said that the max amount of inflation that could enter the system over the life is about 125 million Torus, just to give you an idea of what the max supply could potentially be. And of course, here we are just in early days. So early days on that. We've also got this cumulative future supply, and this is probably the most important thing other than staking in the protocol. This is the most important thing to understand. So two things to understand is the distribution of the inflation that comes out, but also the staking, which is really the heart and soul of this project. So if you understand those two things, I think you're going to do pretty well. Now, obviously, with this in the future, we've got this going out here to day 95 now, obviously, because we've got 88 days is the max creation period or staking period, and we've also got we're in day 7 now, right? So you add those two together, it gets us to 95, 96, right? So at the moment we've got this this is the future inflation, that 9.3 million we talked about, and what we're seeing is that over time this will be distributed to more and more people as we go forward. And this chart below is a really good way of looking at that. This big candle here used to be up at about 4.5 million on the first day. It's been coming down, and it is now less than 3 million, and it's just dropped below 3 million today. And this is probably expecting to continue to fall as it gets redistributed to more people that come in. So it's really fantastic. So you're not going to have those, there's still going to be large holders, of course, people that play the system correctly and invest their appropriate money in at the right time, and lots of stuff, all those variables that play into it. But actually, this will get redistributed to more and more people, which is very different to what we've seen in other Titanx projects. And so this is really an idea of getting a more normal distribution rather than something that's very skewed. And so this is very clever. This is part of the really cleverness about it. And I think really puts it at the frontier of crypto. Really is. So a lot of these mechanisms really are incredible, and we're going to see them play out. So pretty exciting. So the first phase of the project really is the 88 days. So the first 88 days, and this is getting redistributed. So it's come down a lot. So there's going to be a lot more holders holding a lot more Torus, and that makes for a more stable protocol, right? So it's pretty cool. So we should see a very narrow band price oscillation. So if the price is going up and down, we should see that in a much tighter band as opposed to very wild, swings that we see in other protocols often, and sometimes a death spiral as well. So this makes it far more sustainable. So it's very cool from that point of view. And then, of course, the second part, which gives sustainability as well as the inflation distribution, is the staking, right? That people get around staking. So education around staking is I think going to be one of the key parts of anybody that's talking about Torus, is talking about how that's going to be. If you want to get that high yield, then that's the play. Now we're still going to have people try to play the short game, and of course they take on a lot of risk doing that. Also, when you do staking for things like that, you have to pay a bit extra, right? That 5%. So you're paying a bit of a premium for that. And also, you don't know how many people are coming in after you, right? Because remember the first part, the distribution model, the more people that come in, the more it gets distributed. Well, what happens if you get in and you think, oh, I'm gonna do a shorter one, right? And when you do a shorter one, you don't get much of a yield, right? So remember that. So you don't get much of a yield. So let's go to the earn here and quickly do a shorter one. Because remember, if you're doing 88 days, you got 19,000%. So you got some volume insurance, let's say, volume protection. But as soon as you drop down, watch that number, 19,000%. As soon as you drop down to let's say you're going to try and play the short game, you drop down to 50 days, you're now down to 2,000%. And you could have more people come in after you, right? And that's going to lower that percentage. See how it works? So that is the risk that you take. And you pay, if you're going to do staking, you pay a little premium there as well because you got to pay the extra cost, right? The 5% there. So it really got to, the short game you can do it, and it may pay off under price, but you may also get stung pretty hard too with the expectation that you had that you're going to get 2,000%, and you don't get that at the end of the day. So remember, that's going to be pretty interesting. And of course, the chart at the moment is pretty friendly. So those are some of the interesting elements to think about. Obviously, there's got cool data in here as well. You can check out when all the inflation's coming out as well. So far, there's been over 770 creations. So people have gone into the earn and hit the creation button. So there's been over 700 people so far. This could run away. Like I say, we're still very early, and we're still on the precipice, I think, of that really pick up. So it's going to be pretty cool to see that. In fact, I think I took a snapshot. So let me see if I've got that snapshot here. I think I may have. I'm just not sure which one it is, but I can't see which one that is, but we've also got over 110 stakes. So people have come in to the stake tab over here, and we've got over 110 of those too. So there we go. And so you can sort of see it's still kind of early days, and we're only just started day 7. So, but the word's getting out there, more influencers are covering it, and we're going to see how this chart here goes. This chart's pretty important, daily Torus creation. So we're going to be seeing, will we get an uplift in that blue area, right? That's daily creations. This is the blue bars. Will we see an uptick in that in the next week or two? So that's going to be what we're going to look for, right? That those blues going up, and therefore that will increase this orange line, which is the accumulation of all these blue daily candles of new creations, right? So the first day we had 289, third day we had 130, yesterday we had 66. So we're going to be looking to see how this profile goes in terms of adoption. Very, very cool. All right, so that's some of the cool stuff there. Obviously, it's got some statistics there. We've got 1.7% burn so far, and we've only got, like I said, about 88 holders there, so not many people. But of course, if the price goes too high, then some of those liquid bags, even though they're small, will sell because of the money they're making, right? So just take that into account. Kind of cool. We got Trev in the house. Always great content too, man. I appreciate that, Trev. Big shout out to you. And we've got Investor Logic as well. Let's roll. Torus is about to go hyper viral on ETH, and I think so. Yeah, I think that's what I'm saying. We're all anticipating the word of mouth to get out. It's really going to go viral because of the mechanisms are fantastic. So what are they? What are the mechanisms? Well, we've got these high yields. So on staking, and of course we've got the high yields on creating 19,000%. We've got the buy and burn treasury just building up a massive bag. Like I said, it's probably well over $550,000, and within 10 days to 12 days, if we continue and we start accelerating like we're expecting, we could easily get over to $1 million and beyond, right? That's pretty much it, and up and away. And of course, as Titanx and ETH, if they continue their rally, then it just goes up even more in US dollar value, right? So quickly you can start stacking millions, right? The stats there, of course, you can check those out as well. So that is on Torus. Now we're going to have a quick look at the Torus price. So we did have a couple little episodes. So let's get the old circle out because everyone likes drawing. Everyone likes it. Someone draws on the chart and they go, wow, they're really good at the charting. Yeah, so let's do that. Look, see, now I'm really good at charting. I put a nice circle there. Okay, jokes aside, but let's put another circle. Wow, this guy's really good. He's like double 2 circles. That looks so good. But these look amazing, don't they, with the transparent backgrounds? It's true. All right, so let's do one more. So we've had a couple of selling periods there, as you can see, and let's make this chart look even more amazing. Let's put a little line here. Let's link these lines. So look at that. It's going in there. Let's make it orange because we like to have color coordination. Look at that. It's amazing now. It's even better than it was before. So yeah, it's going up and away. Oh, come on. Let's have some fun today. Let's have some fun. And so yeah, we've got the wheel, and look, it's going up. Oh man, this connection. This thing's looking like space. It's looking like Star Wars now. Looking like Star Wars. So yeah, subscribe, hit the follow button if you want to get more circles and straight lines. We've got more animations here. All right. So anyway, we do have a couple of periods. We have had some sells, but look at this chart, just up and to the right there. And really, like we said, it's staking that's driving at that yield, that 5,000% yield. And of course, the more the price goes up, more attractive it becomes. But we did get a little bit of selling today. And so let's have a look at some of that. We're going to have a look at the see what that was. So yeah, we had one account here, 2 accounts. So we're sitting at, we did get up to $12.02. So we did actually hit $12. So it's been going up very nicely, as you can see. This is on the 4-hourly chart, by the way. This chart's on 4 hours. And then we did get, just a couple sell. They only sell a little bit, but it's a decent. They probably made some pretty good, decent returns there. So this person here sold like 48. This is 29. So even though there's not a lot of holders, they're not holding a lot. There isn't. They're hardly holding anything. It just, as the price goes up, they will pull out a lot of them, and of course take a little bit out of the pool. But of course, as we saw with the buy and build is fattening up the liquidity, and so it can more easily absorb those sort of things. And it's still on the low end, right, 1% on the buy and burn side of things. And so the liquid at the moment, 233K. So we've noticed that continued decline, right? The liquidity continue to climb. Market cap is still super cheap, guys. 224. Obviously, that will change with the prices, and of course, with the amount of tokens out, we're still very early. Obviously, less than 20,000, which is less than what we started with which is pretty crazy. Normally in protocols, that would be way high, right? You normally would start 20,000, but you might be 200,000 by now, right? Whereas actually we've gone down negative. So just everything is designed so well on this protocol. And I'm sure it's even slightly more surprised to cryptographics. He's probably even, he's designed a monster here, but it's even a super monster. So yeah, pretty exciting. I'm expecting this price to continue to go up. As you guys know, I said I thought at least 2.5 weeks, but it could actually be longer. That the price could continue to rise. That being said, there is a bit of a cap, like I say, even with small bags that are being held by very few holders. The more price it goes up, they'll put a little bit of sell pressure, but we are fattening that up with the buy and burn. So I still expect it to continue to go up as we move forward here overall. So how high it goes, we will see. But, $20, $30, $40, $50 definitely could happen within a few weeks. But then, of course, we've got to have a price correction, right? But when is that? Well, we'll find out. That's why it's important on the June dashboard to keep track of the supply. So let's have a quick look at the. I don't know what I was looking at here. Yeah, we're going to bullish lie. We're going to go bullish lie. But this is the price at the moment. We aren't expecting really much supply. If you go to the June dashboard, you can see the individual days. Aren't expecting really anything much to happen, and probably the first 3 or 4 weeks, there's not a lot of supply. Even day 16, I think, is the next bit of inflation coming out. There's not really anything in between that time. And so, yeah, we could just see people continue to buy and stake here. That trend continues, then it's up and away for the chart with little red blips along the way. That's pretty much it. And the liquidity will get fattened up. That will potentially provide some padding as well for any sells. And so up and away we go. So, and of course, the more up it goes, the better the metrics that people see, and it is self-fulfilling, right? So we'll check that out. But remember, this is designed, I think, incredibly well. We've still got to see it all play out over the 88 days and beyond. Of course, it's a long-term staking project, it's really designed. It's really designed to benefit long-term people. So yeah, playing the short games like you did in Titanex, for example, that will get you burned a lot of the time, I think. But we will see people make short-term money, but they'll pay for it, and they'll also take on the risk for it, right? So as we said earlier. All right, so that is some of the cool things here. Keep a lookout, folks. Breaking records and blowing minds is definitely doing that. And with the supply stuff, that's hardly anything, next to nothing. I think day 16, the first, and it's only a little bit. I don't think we're really getting anything decent until like day 28. So we're on day 7 now. So it's another 3 weeks before we even get anything there. And then by that time, we may have so much liquidity in the pool, it absorbs. Now, obviously, if the price gets too high, then people will be able to relatively take out capital that way. So we'll keep seeing, but it's going to be, I think, very short-lived. And then we don't really have too much after that until maybe another couple of weeks after that. So yeah, it's going to have its ebbs and flows. But certainly the first month here looking extremely bullish for the price. So keep a lookout for that. And obviously, nothing is financial advice. Do your own due diligence. And of course, you can jump in a strategy chat. Links in the video description for that. Only $35 a month. All right, so that's pretty much our Torus details there. I'll post the link to the chart there as well. And so you can get hold of that. I don't think I posted the June report in there, but if you hunt around, you'll be able to find it. Or maybe hit us up in Discord. We can possibly post it out to you. So there we go. That is the link to Dick Screener there right now. Woohoo! All right, so let's jump away from that, and we're going to get into Trader Lie, which is a little bit related. This is a little different. It's related, of course, it's to Titanex. But what I want to talk about was that, we've got obviously Cryptographics just did a video a couple hours ago on day 7. So definitely check out that with Cryptographics. He's the founder of Torus. So you definitely want to check that out. And that's on Cryptographics channel. What else we got there? We're going to jump down here. I just want to pick up actually something that Bullish Live said earlier today. I'm just going to try and find that. It was a comment that he made that I thought was particularly good. Yeah, so it was this one here. So Ouroboros is like a modified liquidity fork from Super Shadowy, and this is something really important. So he says most still don't realize what Ouroboros pulled off. 4 million in sell pressure removed, Titanex and DragonX locked when it mattered most. USDX is a real utility. Saw it coming a mile away. Now the vision's playing out, and I'm proud to be a part of it. get in now or get left behind. So pretty cool. And this is building on the back of Marco the Hexkin, a pretty well-known community member out there. And he says the Titanex community has no idea how blessed and lucky they are to see someone like Ouroboros, who locks up so damn much Titanex and Dragonex at the bottom that it didn't drop another 90%. The 4 million of sell pressure removed. One day Ouroboros will get the credit it truly deserves and won't be looked or overlooked there. The first founder protocol that cuts a deal to get their token into ORX to use a USDX, was their stable coin for the protocol. So this Titanex has a couple of utilities. Ouroboros, of course, the liquidity fork is one of them. Will be the one that does the most X's when things get hearts pumping near. So, given that Torus is a staking protocol, getting any supply sync, not only in staking, but supply sync in Ouroboros would be pretty cool. Obviously, the yields in Torus are going to be so pretty exciting. So, but it's always a chance to have people, given an opportunity to go into the lending protocol and potentially buy more Torus, I guess, or something like that. Because of all that selling pressure, it flowed through borrowing and loans instead. Something I've been screaming at all the founders inside the ecosystem for about a past year to do. Hint, there's a 4 trillion in buy and burn inside Ouroboros or ORX. And of course, sometimes folks can't see the blessings right in front of them. So that is there at the moment for Ouroboros. So pretty cool. And we're going to have a quick look at Titanex before we move on into the stock market and Pulse and crypto and Pulse chain. So at the moment, we've got Titanex at the moment had its own little rally. So, obviously Torus is built on Titanex. If Titanex is on the move, then that's also going to help the yields for Torus as well. And we're talking about, getting your 10x's, your 100x's, etc. It's pretty exciting. So this is the US dollar price now of Titanex. And you can see it's really come off the bottom there. We were down at 6 zeros 1100. We're now at 6 zeros 2700. And it's still early days there, but we're on the move. Let's pull up the RSI just to see what the RSI indicator is showing. And we can see we are definitely in the overbought territory at the moment. So we probably do need a bit of a cool down around here. But on the weekly, we have got plenty of room to move, right? We've got plenty of room to move. We are only down at number 44 on the old Titanex. So we have 43 here. We got tons of room to move. So we just need to cool off maybe a little bit on the daily, and then make another move up very nicely. So we can have nice little parabolics, turning up here. And I haven't done squiggly lines for a while. So where's my squiggly line there? Is it the old brush? I don't even know. But that was the end of the bullishness. Oh, we got a path. Let's see if the path works. I don't know. Something like that, something like that. So let's see how we can get something like that. How do you end the thing? I don't know. We're stuck in a loop. But something like that, that's definitely happening because now we're in this bullish move on Ethereum, and then bullish move on Titanex, and then of course Torus on top of that. So bring that on. Pretty cool. Now, obviously the 4 hourly there, so we'll look at that. RSI is kind of hot there. We just need, I think, a little bit of a breather here, and then we can move up again. So it could be quite severe, and then we can just tap around that, come down a little bit there. It does seem like Titanex probably needs a little bit of consolidation where we are at the moment. Dragonex is up nicely, 13.23 Titanex. What else is looking pretty good? Hydra is up 16%, 0.1 Dragonex, and no change in the ratio, but nicely up there. And then, of course, the other one we're particularly looking at is being Morpheus. It is down 11% today, but it has been moving pretty nicely. And of course, that's Brandon with the switch there. Torus has moved up to number 16, and that's looking pretty solid, 1143. And it looks like it's going to be unabating for the next couple of weeks, certainly for the first month, and maybe even up to the week 5 and 6. So pretty cool. We might break that down a bit more in another live stream. So that's kind of cool. And of course, the next big protocol we're expecting to launch. Well, obviously, we've got the 2 utilities, so I'll quickly talk about those. We've got Tink Farms, and then that's currently at 2.3 cents, and we've got Ouroboros here up 16% at 3.7 cents. So those are the ones we're talking about around the liquidity forks. And of course, let me jump through to how much stablecoins we got actually. XUSD. Looks like we've got $500,000, is it? I think it's 500,000 in stables. No. $500,000. Where did it go? UXDX, 845K, is it? Yeah. And market cap. Let me jump down. So we're waiting for Bitcoin Genie from Stevie D, the mad scientist built on top of Vault. So we'll keep a lookout for that. And that's going to bring us into the stock market. So that's pretty much our Titanex coverage with good old Torus. We just started day 7, guys. It's so early. We're expecting some pretty amazing things to happen there. And exciting times. And of course, we've been tracking it from day 1. So if you do want to go back and check out what the shares were and all the metrics, you can go back and watch the show that I've done the last 5-6 days. So it's pretty cool. That's a cool part about covering this thing. Bit of a time capsule there. All right, so yeah, stock market there. S&P 500 closes higher after Trump denies plans to fire Powell. That's Chairman Powell, Chairman Powell of the Communist Party and the good old Democrats. They basically are, aren't they? Basically, we got Dow Jones is up 0.5%, 231 points, 44,254. S&P 500 up 30%, 20 points to 6,263, and the Nasdaq up 0.25%, 52 points to 20,730. We got the dollar index there is up 0.1% to 98.18, so a little bit of strengthening there in the US dollar. Commodities at the moment, West Texas is at just under $67, up 0.85%. Brent oil, it's just under $69, up 30% there, and we got gold at the moment, $3,348. Down 30%, and silver is slightly down at $38. But we are expecting a boom in the United States, as you guys know, and a boom indeed. So we've got some big news. Of course, it's supposed to be crypto week this week, right? But we had a setback because around about 12 different members of the GOP, particularly around the worry that the Genius Act would not stop CBDCs, so central bank notes. So we had that shut down, but we've had a new vote, right? We've had a new vote for that. So it's back on there. Trump pulled in the 12 GOPs, which had a very good reason for not voting for it, siding with the Democrats. And of course, that motion to proceed got shut down. Trump had a session with them, and they got them all over the board there in his deal with the no CBDCs, right? So it was supposed to be in the bill, originally got pulled out of it, and then they weren't able to review it in the House, right? So we do have a little video, though, on the revote to reconsider, and that went through. So very good news heading right there for crypto, and we'll talk about why in a minute. So
it'll make it easier to move dollars.
Actually, we'll go to this one here.
On this vote, the yeas are 215 and the nays are 211. The motion is adopted.
So that motion is, of course, to reconsider the Genius Act, the crypto bills there. So, yeah, we got 215 yeses from Republicans, 211 no's. So no Republicans in the nay. And, of course, that means the crypto bill's back on, guys. And this is hyper bullish for us. So this is a major, major deal. You guys remember, it's not just for crypto. It's going to be massive for crypto. I mean, I cannot understate it. It's really going to help us catapult the crypto towards the gold market cap. But also, it's going to be massive, potentially one of the major ways that they're going to deal with the US debt of $37 trillion. So keep a lookout for that. It's also going to help strengthen the US dollar and also potentially more freedom, right, using a decentralized model to do that rather than CBDCs, which would be centralized. And we know that given the Democrats and other wicked people that would use that to control us, right, and that threat is everywhere outside the United States. That threat is happening, right? So we see that in my country, New Zealand, Australia, everywhere where the UN and the globalists have got control, they are moving for more control. So yeah, they're dealing with Trump and they're having to capitulate on certain issues, but in their own countries, they're actually continuing on with their mandate, right? So that is continuing on. That's Canada, that's the UK, that's Europe. They're still continuing a lot of their mandate. We're hoping that Trump is going to be able to pull back some of that, but of course they are, sovereign states working for the globalists, for the UN, the WEF, and all the rest of it. Right? They're still playing out their plans as much as that, and of course that is what we're having to deal with here in New Zealand. Yeah, we got some cool stuff here. Let me go. We got a couple of comments here. Lance Mitchell, what the heck's up? Yeah, we're going to talk about hex in a minute. Matt and Bali, oink, oink, oink. Hello, everybody. Good to see you, Matt. Big shout out. So this is pretty positive news. Now, obviously, talking about the no CBDC, We also got one of the members here talking about that.
It'll make it easier to move dollars, which again reinforces the U.S. dollar as the reserve currency. And importantly, Maria, each of these digital dollars are going to be backed 1-for-1 by U.S. Treasury securities. That's going to stimulate demand for U.S. Treasuries. That's going to bring the increased demand is going to bring rates down. That's going to be very positive for our borrowing cost right now at a time where we could use it. There are many reasons to love this bill. The working capital that it brings back into the system, again, instead of being tied up 5 to 10 days waiting to clear, immediately coming back to the hands of middle and small size companies that can put that asset to work. I think we're going to see a lot of positive results, but importantly still, we're going to see this technology thriving here in America again. The anti-central bank component of it, I think that may seem strange, but there is a large number of my colleagues here in the Senate, Elizabeth Warren probably the leader of this group, that are proponents of central bank digital currencies, meaning they'd like to be able to see and surveil every transaction that Americans make. I don't think Americans want that at all because they've seen Operation Choke Point take many different forms. We do not want to empower the federal government to do that yet again.
All right, so that looked a little bit like an AI video because the audio was out of line, but actually, so no CBDC, and of course the bill's going through this week, super bullish, and we've already seen Treasury Scott Bessent talk about $2 trillion in stable coins backed by treasuries. This is bullish for America and bullish for crypto, and of course, if we've got like say maybe $250 to $300 billion of stable coins on CoinGecko, that could balloon out to 2 trillion or more. And of course, that leverage into the ecosystem is massive. You're talking about 10x to 50x leverage there. It's going to be massive there, depending on which multiplier you expect to have. It's going to be absolutely huge, and it is just one of the, I guess, the pillars of how big crypto is going to get. And so, really, it is takeoff time. Everything is aligned, so pretty cool there. So we're back on track, guys. For that, Crypto Week is still on play, and of course, we've got the Genius Act, the Clarity Act. Which is around non-custodial regulations, things like that, and of course the No CBDC Act as well. So kind of cool. Hey, look, these guys and the Democrats, the socialists, the Marxists, the globalists, they want control. They want to control everything about you. They think they're superior to you, even though many of them are stupider. They're way dumber than you, but they think they are, and they want this power and control. It's really terrifying. It's they think most people are stupid and they can manipulate them and all this stuff. So that's the way to go. And obviously there's some truth in that, unfortunately. But they really are just human beings like everybody else, and many of them are flawed narcissists, unfortunately. But if they get in power and do get that control, that's the real scary there. We're on the opposite side, of course. We want freedom. We want common sense. We want empathy. And we want people to be able to do what they want. So there's a battle of that in the West at the moment. And of course, Trump is kind of the last man standing for that. And so, the more he can do to push back on them, the better for us. All right, let's move on into the crypto markets. Let's talk about that. So we're going to go to, I just lost it actually. I just lost the crypto market. Let's go back. That's what happens when it had a little lag in the clicking, and we lost it. So let's go to the biggest screen, shall we? Let's go to the marks here. We've got the market cap at 3.893 trillion, down 1.3%, but that is because it's based on 17,690 coins on CoinGecko. Bitcoin though is looking very, very healthy, $119,104, up 0.9%, looking good. But the big story today has got to be Ethereum, and this is the big story. We are up 7.8% at $3,387. This is great because this signals closer to more of an altcoin season kind of move, and that is tasty. That's what everyone's been waiting for, the beginning of the banana move, as Raul Paul would say. XRP up 4.7%, $3.07 at number 3. Number 4 is BNB up 3.1% at $715. Solana at number 6 up 5.7%, $174. And Doge there at number 8 up 7.4% at 21.6 cents. And then Lido has actually moved up, remember, to number 9, flipping Tron. And of course, number 10 is Tron, up 3.2% at 31 cents almost. So there we go. And the billions are adding on, right? To get in the top 10 now, you have to be worth $29.3 billion. That is the top 10 there, with Bitcoin currently valued at $2.36 billion. And of course, we're still expecting like a 10x to get to gold market cap. And of course, the Genius Act there with the issuance of stablecoins is going to be one of the key catalysts for that. It's going to be absolutely massive. What are the other key catalysts? Obviously, money printing. We've got record into money printing. So this is like liquid cash, bank deposits, things like that. That's at record level highs. I think and last time I checked, it was around 22 trillion. I think something like that ballpark. We'll go double check that, but that was kind of the last number I had in my head. And so it's huge. We've got potentially interest rate cuts in September. Obviously, we're excited about that. More pressure coming on the Federal Reserve there. Inflation was pretty flat. We saw come out. And so, we're between 2.5, 2.7% inflation. We haven't seen a lot of that stuff from tariffs coming in. We'll see if pre-tariff stock buys impact that much, but I'm not expecting too much push through. Very modest at the most on the impact of tariffs. And of course, tariffs there helping to offset the federal budget deficit as well, with the new tax bill coming through. So looking pretty good there. Now, one of the big news that we were going to talk about, I didn't talk about on the stock market, is that we saw one of the senior Trump advisors talking about economic growth. Get this, I've been talking about it. So the CBO, which is the budget office, has been talking about with the one big bill, using a GDP forecast of 1.8%. And of course, we are looking under Trump at a minimum of 3% growth with his strategies. And of course, that's driven by the trade reorganization, by the one big bill and the lower taxes and 100% capital expensing for businesses. This is going to be driven by that, as well as more discretionary income in the Americans' hands. And of course, through their regulations and incentives stimulating industries in the United States. And one of those includes crypto, of course, and digital assets, which is a major focus there. So we're expecting, talking about 3%, but I said to you, we could potentially, under the Trump era at different times, possibly within 2 or 3 years, hit 4 or 5% periods of economic growth in the United States. This is unbelievable. We're expecting the AI industries at least to deliver probably in excess of 1%. I'm thinking maybe 1.5% additional GDP growth to the United States. That is massive. We're talking about a couple of $1 trillion in extra revenue, tax revenue, and of course dealing with a lot of the issues that Trump has dealt with, right? Those three issues are $37 trillion in debt that no one's cared about, and the Democrats just keep making bigger and bigger. Number two, the federal deficit, which is $2 trillion, $2.2 trillion a year. Half of that in interest costs, for goodness sake. And of course, the other one being the trade deficit, about 1.3 trillion in trade deficits every year. Those are the three big financial problems that Trump's dealing with. And of course, his three-legged stool strategy with reorganizing world trade, having a premium tax to people to get into the United States, and of course, dealing with the economic growth to deal with the budget deficit, and of course, trying to pressure lower interest rates to get the interest rate costs down dramatically, and then also doing things like crypto and stable coins to have one of many methods they will use to deal with that $37 trillion in debt. That is the game. That is the game. And of course, getting to 3 to 5% economic growth, that is a boom, the golden age of America for Americans. Americans will love it. And of course, not only will they love it, but they'll be safer because he's getting rid of a lot of the criminals out of the United States that have been flooding in under the Democrats and causing rape, pillage, and murder. I mean, it's been brutal, right? Been brutal. And so he's getting rid of that. So people are going to be wealthier, they're going to be safer, and they're going to live in a more common sense world as he's pulling down the nightmare Marxist, wokeism that's out there, and people can return back to normal, right? Rather than living in a land of a nightmare and make-believe, which is very good. And we're hoping here in New Zealand that we get to benefit some of that as well. So very, very exciting there. All right, so that's some of the play there. Let's have a look at where we are in the top week. We got at the moment, we got big Ethereum, of course, the best performer in the last 24 hours, up 7.8%. At the moment, what else we got? XRP is the best performer in the top 10, 27.6% for the week. Looking at the top 100, best performance is Pudgy Penguin, so meme coin, up 107% this week. And then we got that sitting at number 66, so it's got a long way to go. It's only at just hit $2 billion, so it could go much higher. We got Bonkcoin, another meme coin as well, 85% there as well, up at $3 billion. That's sitting at number 48, and then we got Curve DAO there, number 92 there. At 68%, so DeFi in the mix there. Those are the top three, followed by Stellar and Allegrand there at number 4 and 5. But look, Floki at number 91 is not far behind, and that's up 47%, still at a market at 1.3 billion. We know in a bull rally, meme coins like this Floki could really hyper rally there relatively in bigger X's compared to the ones that are already up near the top, right? So that could be some nice opportunity there. Top gainers in the top 1,000. We've got Annie Grok Companion up 107%, Startup up 48%, and Osaka Protocol. Let's have a quick look at these and see where they are ranked. So Anarchy Grok there up at number 800. It is on Solana chain. It's only been around since the 15th of July, so not very long at all, only about 2 days. And of course, let's have a look at the app here. As you can sort of see the anime there. So obviously Grok and Anime Companion. People have been doing some real weird things with these on the X protocol, but you can check out some of that. That is up on the mark there. I'm not sure if that's an independent version, but there we go. You can check that out. That is up pretty bigly. What else? We've got Startup there as well. Startup up 46% in the top 1,000, so at number 884, so not too much further higher than that. It's been around since May 16, so that's been around for about 2 months, and that is on Solana also. So both of these on Solana on the move, and let's have a look. Don't necessarily have a website for that, but that is up there at the moment. Startup. And then number 3 was Osaka Protocol. And let's see where this is at. This is at number 356, so much higher there in the top 400. And of course, it's been around since the 7th of July 2023. So what's that, 2 years? And now it's just come off the bottom here. Had a lot of zeros. I don't know how many zeros it is. Like, was it 6 zeros or something, 9 zeros? And then it's rallied all the way up to 2100 there. So lost a few zeros on there. I think it was 9 zeros up to 6 or something like that. And that is on Ethereum. And also look here, Osaka Protocol is a decentralized project with an airdrop of 30% of its total supply to individuals who sold SHIB before its significant price increase. So there we go. And that's got a website as well. So quickly check that. And that is it there, Osaka. So you've got all the details there for that as well. There we go. All right. So those are the top 3 in the top 1,000 that are moving on the move at the moment. Looking at trending, we've got Bonk, Pump Fun, and Ethereum. Now, if you've been on Pump Fun is, we looked at this the other day, right? This is on Solana. I have joined up there to play around. It's a pretty wild westy place, but this is the way it goes. Let's have a look here. So this is Pump Fun here. And of course, interesting. This is something that possibly, Pulse Chain could have. I don't know if we've got devs that want to do this. The closest thing we have to this is we did have a site that was back in the day that was kind of a social site, but we really haven't seen much happen in that space. I think the best thing that we've probably had is the Pulse Tube, which is the closest thing that's going to be multi-chain. I'm not sure if the developer's finished with that yet, but this is kind of cool. So what people can do is they can launch their own coin for free. So it really makes it every coin. But the thing is, a lot of this gets botted really hard. So there's a lot because they the bots come through and take the metadata from the site. You get a lot of scraping and botting and stuff like that. So you can get trolled quite a bit, and a lot of bots there, and that brings scammers out too. But you can see actually you can launch a coin. Anybody can do it. Anybody can launch a coin, and you can see there's all sorts of just people around the world launching coins here, and each of them have got their different shows. And of course, they all got these market caps. Most of them, if they're at 4,000 or 5,000, it means not much has happened to the price. But then others have much bigger market caps, and they're obviously, for some reason, either an influencer or something is going on there, maybe doing something better with that. But you can see there's people everywhere, average people, normal people just doing shows, and then there's a few weird people as well. So there we go, doing some weird stuff. But that is it. It'd be pretty cool. This could be considered a kind of a killer app. Obviously, it's had a lot of drama, I think, around the token or the allocation, so you must do your due diligence on that. But at the moment, it's got this little live feed. People can issue a token, join up, and all that sort of stuff. And it's primarily on Solana, right? But that is something maybe that Pulse Chain could have had or could have in the future, but done a bit better. I mean, you could have a better UI than this. It's a bit buggy, a bit early, but it still does most of what it's supposed to do. A little hard to navigate as well. So you could do something a lot better than this, but it's certainly, I guess, a good first try there. And yeah, it's probably got some adult only stuff on there as well, as you can probably see. So that is Pump Fun. So yeah, overall, let's have a look here. We got the total market 3.88 trillion. Bitcoin looking very, very good, $119,000. Not bad at all. And of course, that will lead us in, I guess, to Pulse Chain coverage. So I hope you guys enjoyed just a review of that. We got Tintop in house here. What's up, Hexkins? Good timing there, Tintop, since we're going to be talking about Pulse Chain. So very cool. Now we've got a whale selling at the moment, so we're going to break it all down. We're going to break it all down here on the Crypto Night Show with your host in the house, Mr. Superman in the house. All right, TJ in the house there with the rockets coming in at the right time as well. We've got all the Pulskins and Hexkins coming in at the right time. Now we got tons of them on the show. But if you haven't hit the subscribe button on YouTube, smash the subscribe button. A special welcome to everybody over on Pulse Chain X, one of the YouTube channels we're streaming to. Been growing really nicely over there. So big welcome to all you guys. Thanks for following, subscribing on YouTube. And of course, if you're on the other YouTube channels, smash the subscribe button. And of course, join our Discord. Links in the video description. You become a community member, only $12.50 a month. Or you can become a strategy member and go next level. We have cool things in Strategy Club, monthly reports, top 10 index, strategy chats, and of course, a constant flow of intel around Pulse Chain, around crypto, AI, Titanx, etc. It's all in there, folks. You can ask questions, things like that. So kind of neat and very attentive in there, very attentive. So cool. Only $35 a month to join up. It's fantastic. So join up today. All right, so let's get into the days here. We've got Pulse Chain day 797. Of course, since the Pulse Chain was a fork of Ethereum on the 10th of May 2023, launched live on the 13th of May 2023, and here we are 797 days later. And I guess this accumulation phase is a lot longer than people expected, almost 800 days. But of course, we did have the SEC hanging over our heads from the 31st of July 2023 till now, right? So, well, at least to about a week ago or so. It is pretty crazy. We have got Pulse at the moment just below 3,000, kind of an important marker. We're at 4 zeros, 29,400. So we're just below 3,000 now. And we're at up 11% though, so that's kind of cool on the 24 hours. So we had a little bit of rebound on Pulse, and it was down last couple of days because we've had a whale selling out, right? Selling out the Pulse and bridging Ethereum, dumping it and all sorts of stuff. But we've got Pulse at the moment, quadruple 0217, up 12.9%, so a little bit of relief rally in the Richard Hart cause there. Buy and burn sitting at 7.4%. So remember, PulseX does have a buy and burn. We're at incentive token there at $1.46, up 7%. And of course, the inflations of incentive token have been cut a lot. And of course, one of the options there that potentially Richard's team has is to make the INC token the DAO token, right? And we may know the Master Chef contract has that ability to do that. I think with commenters, once distribution is adequate or something like that. I can't remember exact words, but that is definitely something we're probably going to see in the future. Definitely, most likely it's in the contract. We got the Hex there is at 4,800 for a penny. It is pretty much flat, but up 0.2%. It is getting partly defended with the whale dumping right now as we speak. The whale has been dumping. So we're going to talk about that coming up. And we've got the EHEX at 1,600 a penny at the moment. Now the whale does have EHEX over there too. So we may see an onslaught on EHEX at some stage. We will see. But certainly on PHEX, and they are moving all their capital, it seems, over to Ethereum there and dumping on Ethereum, which seems that is, I guess, kind of nice to some degree. But they are dumping here on Pulse Chain and then moving over the Rat Pulse over to Ethereum and then dumping over there pretty much. So that is the play. They obviously moving a lot of coins back into the majors, like ETH and stable coins, things like that. But this is where we are on Hex as well. So, all right, so let's jump over to the gas prices. We got 1.3 million beats, 1 cent for a PulseX swap, so super cheap. And validators there, 52. We've been like this for about a week now, 52,000. And then the bridge, which we've been looking at. Now, I don't have an update on the bridge again today, but I will try and bring that, like I say, tomorrow. I was supposed to do it today, but I've been doing other stuff. We're at 88.8 million, so we're holding up pretty nicely on the values. So I think we can all be pretty happy with that. And I think we had a net of $500,000 yesterday. So it's not too bad, even with EHEX under pretty flat at the moment. Obviously, our ETH is going up in value, and the Bitcoin is going up in value. Well, it's not much because we're losing volume, but ETH is definitely going up there at the moment. All right, so that is it. Let's jump over to the Magic Cup Ride, eh? So the Magic Cup Ride, because ETH is recovering. Let's do a refresh of this to make sure we got the latest and greatest. We are only now down 14%. I think, what was the max period? We were down about 60%, something like that. And now we're down 14%, $92 million still. So only 14%, but $92 million. So that's your vacation in Tahoe. Your vacation in Tahoe at $92 million. I know some of you guys have lived the high life. So that is 92 million. and we're currently sitting at 553 million on the Magic Carp ride money, or the Pulse Chain sacrifice there. It is on the ETH Strategic Reserve at number 3. We've got a total entry price 645 million. The entry price was $3,773. And of course, current ETH price is 3,235. This is actually lower than what we've got on CoinGecko. So we're probably even closer to the actual market at the moment. So that's not bad at all. So let's quickly pull up that CoinGecko, because I think this number's lagged. Is it not pulling the right number? Yeah, we've got 3,383. So that number is something a bit lagged about that. Let's do the moon math on that. Let's go to CoinGecko and let's check on the old Ethereum, and let's update it. So I don't know what maybe the API's got an issue or something. Maybe it's not been called for a bit. But it says we're at 240 here. So what are we up here? What did I just write? I put 71, and that's why I put 71. I'm missing a 1 there. It's pretty important. All right, so 578, 579. So it says 553, but we're at 579. So it's not too bad. 579. So that would put us only 65 million, not 92. So there we go. We're way higher, way closer. So this is lagged. And I did notice that this hadn't really been updating. Yeah, it hasn't updated since June the 9th. So this looks like it's died a death. I don't know what. Maybe Gerardo should have an overhaul of it. I don't know. He's probably not watching, but maybe hit him up there about getting some update here on this site. Look into RH. It is. So that is pretty much it. The market cap volume on Pulse Chain, 28.3 million. Yay! So we got a nice little bounce back there on the old Pulse Chain. Maybe Hex is still under attack, but we've got Pulse Chain on the move. 28.3. We're sitting at about 70-80 million. Remember the last couple of days? So it's nice to see 28.3 million. I think yesterday wasn't too bad either. I think we were was it 22 or something? But anyway, we've got 378,000 transactions. We've got new tokens here. Obviously, Sack Daddy is back again. Sack Daddy's back. Been around for 5 months, up 292% there. Volume of 37K over 24K. We've got BFF from Finvestor, the OG WebChef ecosystem. I think that team split up a little bit on the old OG WebChef team. I think they've doing their own things, but we got up 21%. We got PTC the Greys on the move, the number 1 DAO. Is it number 1, or will be Crypto Paradise Surf Token? You guys decide. They're both great teams, of course, or great communities. We got PTC there at the moment, up 20%, sitting at 0004. So we're gonna have a quick look at that. Let's have a look at PTC. Of course, the first DAO on Pulse Chain, really. And 004000, very, very important move here. Let's have a pull out the RSI. I know many of you, are excited about this. So let's pull up the old PTC. Crypto, Prairie Banana out there doing an amazing job of being like the analytical influencer covering PTC. So big shout out to Prairie Banana. Really is a great bastion and ambassador, not only for PTC, but also for Pulse Chain. Doing a great job there. So 4,000, 4000 at the moment on the move up here. And we've got a bit of room on the RSI to keep moving. Not bad at all. Let's have a look at the weekly on the old PTC, the Greys. Way down. Look at that, 52. We've got lots of room to move. This chart's looking very, very healthy indeed. Very cool. 4 hourly. Yeah, we've got a bit more room to move as well. We may peak out a bit oversold period there, but I think we're looking pretty good for a move up here. Once this whale stops selling, we've got less sell pressure, all things considered. So not bad there for PTC the Greys. Up about 17%. We've got TSFI, been around for 5 hours, some new token there. That is up, 80K on 93K. Once again, just because I'm covering some of these new coins, some of them may be sort of honeypots or something like that. So just be careful, use your own due diligence, and don't FOMO into psycho coins, psycho coins that are just going to rug. We have got someone on at the moment that's launching a token, I think, almost every day, and they're all rugs. So just be careful out there. I think Cabal King was talking about one of those. So just take care, take care. All right, so we've got Staked ETH at the moment, up 16.5%. It's been on the move. Remember from OG WebChef again, up 14.5% there. And of course, PulseX making the mix there, up 14%. So nice to see the Rich Art Cause in the top 10 there, just making the top 10. Missile from OG WebChef up as well, 14%. We've got, with the OG WebChef, we've actually got a couple of German influencers that cover it. So it's kind of cool. You've seen some of them. UFO up 13.6%. Yeah, because we always often talking about English influencers if you're in the English speaking world, which is a lot of the world. But there's a lot of other influencers in other communities on Pulse Chain. Germans, Asian communities, etc. There's so many different out there and different influencers covering it, which is kind of cool, right? All right, so that's kind of where we are at the moment. We got Peppy, been around for 5 months. Pump Ties up 13.5%. That was up yesterday as well, wasn't it? We got Rhino Fi, of course, launched only 8 days ago. Rhino Fi, let's have a look at that, up 12%. And of course, I think Crypto Paradise was covering this team. And so it's had a pretty good start, actually. This chart's still looking pretty good. 0005, and now had a little bounce back today, up 12% there. What's the ratio to Pulse, though, right? Now, anything that's got a Pulse there, what's the ratio? Well, it is up slightly against Pulse as well, from 19.6 to 20.27 there. That's the old Rhino. Has its own tokenomics, special tokenomics there. You can check all that out. All right, let's jump around down from there. And we got Top Hat from Crypto Coffee. Arguably, I would say the top influencer in the Pulse chain, although there are a couple that are obviously up there. Thinking of Somi and Moon King and other people for different reasons. Different reasons. They've all got different reasons for being up the sort of the top there. Great ambassadors for large audiences, let's say. We've got that up at the moment. We've got Orion Directive up 11.6%. We've got Access Live on the comeback. The comeback there, another big influence on Pulse Chain. Access Live does around the TA, and that is up 11.3%. Let's have a quick look at that. See how that's going. Oh, big pump there. Look at that over the last couple of days. Look at that, all that volume coming. Where'd that come from? Where'd that come from? Who's doing that? Well, we do know Firewhale's involved in the Access Alliance there, or the Access Index, I think they call it. But that's definitely on the move there on the daily. So up and away. Is this the right coin? Is this a different coin? Access Alive. Yeah, I've got to make sure this is a real coin there because I'm not 100% sure there actually. And I'm looking at it. I don't remember that being the I don't remember that being the look there. So yeah, definitely double check on that. It's been around for 6 months. I thought it's been around a lot longer. So yeah, I'm not sure if that's the right one actually with the top of the head. So just be careful there. We got Sean O'Malley in house there. Afternoon Superman and team. Big shout out there, Sean. And we got Q Baller as well. Morning all. Hey, Q Baller. welcome. What else there? We've got Secret Conspiracy up 11.2%. The Time Dividend from Internet Money, KG, out there. Getting a big shout out from outside the Pulse Chain community. Up 11% there as well. DAI. So we've got 3 different DAIs or main DAIs, haven't we? We've got a good DAI. We've got Pump Tire DAI and we've got P DAI. Pump Tire DAI is up 11%. At 0006. What else there? Lady Gaga, been around for 10 months, up 11%. Their Solid X is $8.89. Now, we're waiting for the big news around Solid X, right? So let's get into that. And, of course, this is Firewhale, one of our 2 big public whales. We've got Rack and Rochelle and Firewhale. And funny enough, Rack and Rochelle had an audio going around yesterday, I think it was, talking about how he's going to be around for multiple cycles. And he knows a lot of big stuff that's coming and around Richard and things like this that's going to pump the chart. So, bring it on. Bring it on. So whatever he knows, I'll have what's whatever she's having, I'll have. So yeah, it's pretty bullish. So looking good. He said something like, I'll close the door on the way out or something like that. It was pretty funny. But yeah, bullish there from Rackham. I guess you can only tell so much things in the market. But we have got Solid X and Solid X here, Firewhale, pushing out here from Solid X. And of course he goes, hello, Pulse Chain. Our first product, Solid Trader Bot, which we've talked about multiple days on this channel, is now live on Pulse Chain. And I would like to tell you why I developed this product and why I think it could be important for BLS. You need to look at the bot in the same manner as a crypto wallet like MetaMask or Internet Money. Instead of accessing your wallet to trade on Pulse Chain, you can now do it on Telegram chat. This is a huge step in development when it comes to onboarding non-crypto users. The process of interacting with Pulse Chain becomes more simple and intuitive. All our future products will run under the same concept, so they're going to be simple and intuitive. This exact same bot has been very successful in the past on Binance Smart Chain, PancakeSwap, so I count with the help of all you guys to make it successful here as well. In other words, spread the word. And of course, we've definitely been doing that here on this channel, the Kryptonite Show. And of course, we have been putting that out. So we'll be doing that on a regular basis too. It has great tech. And soon we should be adding a 10-second bridge from ETH to Pulse and Pulse to Sol so available inside the bot. So there's going to be a bridge inside the bot. Isn't that awesome? So yeah, pretty exciting. Let me just pull that up actually while I'm here. So the docs of the bot are great and explain every tool in great detail. Give it a try. So I'm going to give you a link to that to get hold of the trader bot while we're talking about it. So let's do that. What's happening here? Let me have a look at this. I'm not sure what's going on there. Are we going to go there? All right. So this is the trader bot. If you guys want to join up to it, this is about to have a bridge inside it. That's OMG. This is on Telegram, but man, people have been using it, and it's pretty good. So get a hold of it today. Now, if you do share it around too, there's a 30%. 30%. There's a referral in it. Can't remember how much it is. 35%, I think it is. But there's a 5-layer referral. So the more people that use yours and they share it around, you get benefit from that. So share that around. You do need to use a link to join. So use that one there, the Crypto Night Show, and join up to the trader bot today. You can create a wallet and, of course, get a referral code. You can put the crypto in the wallet, start off with a small amount, just get used to it. And, of course, then you can build up from there. But it's going to have a bridge on it soon. I think that's going to be pretty important over from Eat the Pulse, and very, very cool there from the Fire Whale, one of our 2 big whales. And this is one of many products that they're going to be launching in a very short space of time. So very, very cool there. So nice. You can see Vets in Crypto, a big community member, putting out his link out there. So just highly recommend you just spread the word, and it's going to be pretty good. So that is from SolidX. So we're expecting a lot of big things coming from SolidX and the Firewall team, because they have got a big decentralized casino coming. The wallet and the bridge are the first components of that. And of course, we're looking forward to see the decentralized crypto. It's going to be multi-chain. This is going to be big. So we could see this price of SolidX re-rate dramatically. Remember, they're going to have a lot of fee burning going from SolidX for multi-chain. So SolidX is going to become an omni-chain burn token. And it could be massive in value, right? So we could see some pretty beautiful things happening there. Currently at $8.89, pretty good value to get in. All right, that is also one of my Magnificent 7, isn't it? One of my Magnificent 7 is SolidX. Your Mum, they're up 10.9%. Gas Money from OG Worship at 10.8% as well. So we've got quite a few over 10%. Trump Pump Tires up 10.5%. Teddy Bear Takeover. Moon King and Ian Heinisch support that, 10%. Liquid Loans, of course, we're seeing Liquid Loans ramp up things. So they definitely think the bull market's on. And I guess it's no surprise with Bitcoin at 119,000 and Ethereum starting to break up. And they've been doing a lot of promotions there, up 10%. Surf Token from Crypto Paradise, one of the best teams, I think, on PulseChain. One of the new teams that have come to PulseChain, relatively speaking, and with over 130,000 followers and 3 really great personalities leading that team. They have been amazing, and you can see them inside the PulseChain Weekly Monster thread. They are there as well, and I think we're going to see a lot of this team. They are doing everything right. They are open-minded. They are consistent. They are talented, and they also are collaborating with a lot of teams. So it's a big tick, tick, tick for me. Doing a great job is Crypto Paradise and the Surf. DAO is another alternative for the PDC group, I think. So, and of course, the price looking pretty attractive to get it in on there at the moment. Now, if you do they've got a little referral thing out at the moment, so you can check that out. If you do 200,000 crypto Surf tokens, it does get you into their DAO, and you can benefit from their trading bot payouts and other rewards that they have, like trips and things like that. So definitely check that out. It looks like it's bouncing here from 1.2 cents up to 1.4 cents there. So very, very cool there from the Crypto Paradise team. And they do a couple of shows a week. So definitely check them out. Great team. All right, so what else there? We got Go. We got Most Wanted there. Pump Tires up 10%. Troper up 10%. So we've got 35 coins, so 1/3 that are up 10% here on the leaderboard in the top 100. And then we've got many other coins that are on the mix down below. Let's go further down. We're going to go all the way down here. And you can see all the other coins. Hex, of course, is under pressure. We're going to talk about that. Sun Minimo at the moment sitting at 0.7%. We did have some buy and burns coming through, but we've had some sellers as well. So, a lot of free coins sitting there, very tempting. So we're getting a battle between the buy and burn from the corporate and the sellers there going on. And, of course, that's one Magnificent 7. We're waiting for some news around Floyn markets, which is going to lead us into the big whale that's been selling on everybody on the old Hex. What you doing, mate? Oh, I see I'm up to an hour and 18 already. We're going crazy here today. But anyway, we've got the value of the friend kill. Let's have a look. He transferred 300. This is the last. So he went from the parent account into the dump daughter address. And let's have a look at how much is sitting there. It's 327 when I had the live stream. Let's see what the balance is. So we're only interested in the balance. We don't care who the whale is, really. We have had analysis on that, but this is the play there. 328 million hex are ready to dump, and is already dumped at least 2 different parcels, if not 3. I think 3 different parcels, 2 or 3. But we're going to take the address, and we're going to look for the whale in the old hex contract. So this is hex on the chart here, and of course it's lagging behind also pulse, and pulse is all up like 10%. But this is pretty flat, and being flat's probably a good thing. But you can see the whale cells impacting the chart here on the hourly. We got one here. We were up at 5.5 cents, and the whales come in, moved their coins in, and started selling, and just in the last hour. So we're going to find those. Let's go have a look. So at the moment, what I'm saying is that you could get the opportunity of a lifetime for hex. And assuming we don't have any other major whales selling hex positions, we've still got, I think, got bank hex out there a little bit. They're selling a little bit here and there to slowly exit. But if we don't have any major whales selling like this, obviously that's a big assumption potentially, but this whale's a pretty big one. And then once this is done, we could see the mother of all recoveries for hex, and this could be a great buy. Now, obviously not financial advice, but that's just playing some kind of a probability there where we are. So let's jump into the charts, and let's have a quick look at where this whale is, and let's paste it out. So it's the 132 wallet. Everyone's pretty familiar with that by now, and we can see just in the last 2 hours, we saw an hour and 50 minutes ago 10 million sell, and then a 7.5 million sell routing through this particular pair, this hex pulse pair here. And this is a P hex, right? Hex on pulse chain, and you can see the previous sellers that they had. Look at them all. Selling millions and millions and millions over the last week. So the last 6 days and 10 has been selling from the daughter address. And of course, it's just selling the last amount. So it moved from the parent wallet, 360 million hex, and it's only just started selling. And we can see it's still got 328 million. Now, its behavior's been consistent. So it just keeps selling once it moves into daughter address. We're expecting this to sell out over the next day. And with this amount of hex, maybe it's still worth 1.6 million. Obviously, with slippage, it's going to be less. And of course, they're going to get that into pulse, right? So there's 2 steps of this. The first is selling hex into pulse, and then, of course, bridging the wrap pulse over the bridge, and then selling it on the each side has been the play from this whale. So that's what we're expecting to see. So what does it mean for you on pulse chain? It means that you should be keeping track of this whale if you're wanting to buy hex, and you may get the buy price of a century. Now, the other question is, we have had some buying to offset it when a whale has sold. But of course, will we have some person sitting there with some decent capital that will end up buying up before you do? So we'll see. But in any case, there's going to be an opportunity here over the next sort of 24 hours, is my guess, maybe 48 hours. It'll be interesting to see how quickly they sell out. I think there's a good chance they might try and sell it all out within 24 hours. In other words, they sell it, and then they let it fill up a little bit, and then they sell it, and then they'll fill up a little bit, right? That's the basic play. So that the pool's got $2 million in it, but they've got 1.6 million, right? So they have to just do it slowly. So it might take them 2 days, 3 days. We'll see how fast they do it. But normally it's been within a 24-hour period. But with this amount of money, it might take them a day or two. So just keep a track of that pacing. And made a couple opening salvos in the last little wee while, right? In the last little wee while. In fact, let's have a look at that. It was an hour and 54 minutes ago, and an hour and 30 minutes ago. So yeah, so I said last hour, but last hour and a half. I've forgotten how long I've been on the stream now. So we got an hour and a half, 2 hours there. So those sales. So we might see them let it fill up a couple of hours, and then do another 2 drops, and then let it fill up for a couple of hours, do another 2 drops, trying to pace out the liquidity with their sales. So it is a big behemoth here, $1.6 million. It may take them more than 24 hours to do that. We'll see exactly, because they're trying to preserve as much capital as they can, right? So their worth is a lot there. So you see the first one was 10 million. The second one was 7.5. So they definitely lowered it to try and get the maximum dollars they can. So just note that as well. So, another 7.5. Let's do the calculator and put that in there. And that is 36. So yeah, I mean, you got slippage, right? So that let it fill up a little bit, take the slippage. So yeah, there may be a huge opportunity. We may see this depending on how aggressive they are. Obviously, they're going to try and keep the liquidity as much as possible. but we could see it just drop a little bit here and move back further down. So you might get a really nice pickup here, depending on how aggressive they are. It's just a matter of tracking it. But I do think that in their interest, they're probably better to pace it if they're wanting to really preserve that capital, then take it over the chain and turn it into Ethereum. Right, that's essentially what they seem to be doing. So that is the play. I'm going to leave this in the chat there if you guys want to check it out. Whale balance, if that's something you're going to hunt for that hex discount, then it's good to track it, right, and get a bit of an idea of what's going on there. All right. Yeah, if you haven't joined the Strategy Club, join up today. And this is the hex chart. We're going to put that in as well, hex price, and you can just tag the chart there. And bam. All right, that is the hex as well. So let's place that down. We got what do we got here? We got the whale balance. You can follow that, and we got the hex price as well. So everything there for you guys. And of course, if you want to find out more, join Strategy Club today. That's the links in the video description. Woohoo! All right, that is pretty much that. I think that's where we are. That's where we are in the world. We're in the world. That's pretty much it. So we're up to an hour and 24 minutes. Wow, we are doing a full live show today, but we've covered pretty much everything. If you haven't checked it out at the beginning, we covered Torus. It's looking incredible. Torus is incredible. I think it's going to be an incredible journey. I think it's really got very clever tokenomics. The two key things from Torus, the distribution model, very different to what we've seen before, very different indeed. Maybe the holy grail of solving the issue of a dump fest. And of course, we've also got the staking the staking component of it. How will people stake? I guess the first challenge is always that first 88 days. But with that distribution model, spreading out the yields, it could be pretty good, pretty much more stable, narrow band in terms of price volatility. Still volatility in there, but much more narrow. And of course, building on the back of a rally in Bitcoin, just at the right time, right place with Ethereum altcoin season, could be pretty golden. So, and then Titanx on the rally too, and all that buy and burn money sitting in Titanx, right? Probably maybe $20 million plus dollars in there, $25 million and climbing. So on all the buy and burns, it could be pretty crazy. All right, hope you enjoyed the show. Shall we go? Where are we going here? We're going to go. Should we play Raoul Paul out on the way in? I think we should. Let's do that. Let's play Raoul Paul. All right, bye for now. Take care. Subscribe, like, share, hit the bell, all that good stuff. Follow on X, and I'll catch you again tomorrow for another awesome crypto show covering everything. We cover everything. It's great. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I enjoy it, and I'll catch you next time. Bye for now.
Not a mystery. It is a repeat of the debt cycle. They are rolling the debts. They are doing the same thing. Each cycle is not to do with a halving cycle, nothing to do with any of that. It's all driven by liquidity cycle and funding of debts. Each phase, we get phase one of the banana zone, banana number one. The corrective zone, banana number two comes. Another correction, banana number three. So this is the banana zone. So that's what happened in 2020, 2021. Off we go. Sorry, that was 2017, which again looks very similar to this one. That was the last one. Here we are now. It can't be clearer to me. I've shown you the macro evidence, the technical evidence, the sentiment evidence. Everything here suggests to me that hold on to your hats. Don't fuck this up. Don't lose control of your tokens. Don't use leverage. Don't get your wallets hacked. Just sit with it. Be careful. Don't get FOMO. Do all of the right things, and we'll go up to the next phase of correction zone. That's going to be harder, because the next one that happens, we'll have a 35% drop, and you'll all say, is it over? And you'll definitely be sure it's over, and everybody on Twitter will tell you it's over, and it won't be over. By our work, we suggest that because of the elongation of the business cycle, because rates were higher for longer, the forward-looking liquidity suggests that, again, probabilistically speaking, without any guarantees, this whole thing goes into Q1, maybe Q2 of 2026, which would align with Trump's, trying to win the midterms as well. So everything's lined up for us. I think it started. So keep the faith, keep building stuff, and let's keep driving Siri forward with all of this. Thank you.
You could get a God candle at any moment. You could get a giant green candle at any moment, because it's easier to get them, because it takes less economic energy, because there's less of it for sale.